Hi, my name is Camille with Plan Craft Create with Me, and today we're going to talk about using stamps in our planners. These stamps are from Alt New, Amy Tangerine line, and I'm excited to use those. And I have my Moxie Life Planner here. It's a vertical undated, and so we're just going to get started. One thing and one tip that I have learned that makes this a whole lot easier is making sure you have a hard surface behind your paper. So this is a stamp mat, I think is what it's called, from Stampin' Up, but you could use really any hard surface. These alphabet stamps are from Heidi Swapp. I use them all the time, as you can tell. They're very well loved. But I love using these in my planner. So at the top of this planner, it has the days of the week. And so I like just using the first letter of the day of the week and kind of stamping on top of that. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start with Friday. So an F for Friday. And I'm using these clear acrylic stamp blocks. And those are great because you can see where you're putting the stamp at. So it makes it a lot easier. So I like to make sure I get my stamp nice and inked up. And so you'll see me pat the stamp or the ink pad a couple of times because I want to make sure every part of the stamp is covered in ink. So I'm just going to kind of repeat this for each day of the week, and you'll see me sometimes fiddle around with where I put the stamp. I like to be able to see through it, and that part of the stamp block had some ink on it, so I just switched it. But when you're using a coil, or you're using stamps in a coil planner, I like to make sure I put, instead of putting the stamp in the middle of the clear acrylic block, I like to place it on the edge. It just makes it easier to work with, especially close to the coil. I also like it because you can get a better press down on it if you put it under your finger, your index finger. So that's this side of the page. I'm just going to go ahead and add the letters to the other side of the page, as you can see that I've done here. So easy peasy, that part is done. I love doing it this way because then you can go back and you can add in color through colored pencils. I've used highlighters. I've also used markers, and it all works great. So again, these stamps are from Amy Tangerine through Alt New. They're super fun and whimsical. I just got them the other day, so I was really excited to use these. So again, we're going to put that stamp mat or a hard surface behind your paper. And I did it upside down, as you can see, but it doesn't really matter. So it's just having that hard surface behind there. And then sometimes I like to place it on the paper before I put the ink on it. So that way you can see how it'll fit. You can kind of play around with the where you're going to be stamping it. So I just ink that stamp up, press it down, and voila, look how cute that turned out. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to color it a little bit later but for now I'm just going to go ahead and put the stamps on. You can use stamps, you can use inspirational sayings. On the stamp set there was a couple of really cute ones, but I decided to just go ahead and use the stamp, the smaller flowers on it. So again, you'll see me take these off and take them off, and then I'm gonna kind of place them on my page to see where I like them best at. And if you're new to stamping, I would suggest, if you're kind of afraid of making a mistake in your planner, like we've all been there, and I consistently make mistakes in my planner, but especially with stamping, I sometimes like to do a practice stamp. And so I'll just grab out a plain sheet of paper and I'll stamp it on that before I stamp it on my planner page. Again, just to get a feel of like what the stamp's going to look like. Are there sections of the stamp you're going to need to apply extra pressure on in the ink pad? Just kind of for practice. I've been stamping for a very long time, but if you are new to stamping, I suggest the practice. And even now, after a long time of stamping, I still do a lot of practice. So I'm just going to go ahead and add these stamps there, and you can see I'm putting quite a bit of pressure on because I want to make sure there's an even amount of pressure if possible. So there you go. These sometimes can be a pain to get off, so but I love using these kind of stamps because in the olden days your stamps came on wood blocks and just took up a lot of space, but these ones are great because they're very small. You just have stamp blocks that you can keep and store and just these sheets of the stamp. So I really love these. So I'm just going to continue and put another flower on there. And again, stamping may not be your thing, but it's worth a try, right? And you can get, stamps online through Amazon. I order some through Stampin' Up. I also order some through Alt-New. But there's so many cute stamps out there, and it's super easy. So if you're wanting to do something new in your planner, I would highly recommend this. So just going to add some leaves to the page. And after I'm done stamping, I'm going to get those on. Again, you'll see me kind of, fiddling around with placement sometimes. So trying to make sure I get the perfect placement, but that doesn't always happen, as you'll see in this. But once I'm done stamping this, I'm just going to go ahead and add some color to it. So as you can see, I colored in all the flowers. I got some ink on my finger, which was annoying. And then I just start going in and adding my appointments. Like I said, this is a weekly planner, so I like to use a weekly and a daily planner. So I use an Erin Condren daily planner, but this is the one I love for weekly layouts. It just kind of lets me look at my week all together. And so I'm going to go ahead and add that information in. You can use highlighters. You can use whatever you would like just to add some color to this. I like to use my planners as kind of a memory keeper as well. So you'll see in some of my posts where I've printed out pictures and added them to my planner. And I'll show you those in a minute. But again, this isn't my whole entire to-do list. This is really just adding in kind of the highlights of the week of things that I need to get done. If you haven't used dot markers, they're life-changing. If you are a planner person, these are so great. Just for if you're a person that likes to do checklists, I really like using them in my planner, and I just got them on Amazon. So here are some examples of kind of how I use it as a memory keeper. So here you can see I use these stickers. And then I use this grateful stamp. And then at the top, I just use washi tape. So, again, you can use whatever you would like in your planner. I just have found that I love using stamps with a combination of stickers. So, and these stickers are from Planner Kate. They're great. I love them. And I love putting these dinner stickers, and just being able to look at the week all at once to see what I need, and grocery shopping and all of that. But I would really encourage you to try stamps in your planner if you haven't already. They're super easy, super fun, and as you can see, they add a ton of color. And like I said, sometimes I use washi tape, sometimes I use stamps. Here's an example of a page where I used the letter stamps, but I stamped it in a coral color instead of a black. And then used some stencils, some stamps in here. And then I printed out my pictures using, I think, my HP Sprocket pocket printer. So really fun. I hope you enjoyed this, and let me know if you have questions. Thanks so much.